Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. I held off on talking about this. I got this many times in my blog, and people are asking me for my opinion. I really don't know what to say. So Alexa was he, she, they known as Alex Hoffman before they became Alexa. And the thing about it is that they're saying that there's no law on transgender identity in Barbados. You cannot sue under a law that does not exist. And I always feel that people should know where they are and know what rules to abide by or not to follow. You should know things about the place. You should know the history of the place. And it's not as though Barbados is hunting for the Alexas. They're not hunting for you. They accept you readily. You kind of, you are safe in Barbados, okay? So when this one, Alexa, they were on a job, she worked for some law practice, and she's saying, call me a female, refer to me as her and she. There's no law that says you should do that. And as a Bajan, they're going to say, who you is, boy or girl, a boy or girl. And they can do that to you in Barbados because they're not stopped from doing it. Okay, but when they do it, it has to be someone acting up and you acting like, you know, beside yourself, and then you will get a little pushback. But once Alexa is going about their business and just doing what you should do your job, do the work you were hired to do, and stop insisting on people bowing down to you, or you setting a tone, you setting up rules outside of what the law says is there or what should not be there. You cannot go on your job in a bad wig and, you know, how does she sound? How does he sound? How do they sound like Mia? And if you are talking like Mia Motley, but Mia is a female, Mia is a female, okay? But if you are talking like Mia, but other parts of you, it doesn't jive, you cannot be putting pressure on a Bajan in the Bajan community. You're already accepted, so don't push it. Don't push your weight around when in many ways you have been accepted. That is a big demographic in Barbados. So, well, not the transgender part, but you know, the other part. Yeah, so I don't understand what was Alexa's problem. Well, they're saying that they wanted to be referred to as a certain gender. That, you know, that's not something that's in the law in Barbados. And what they said was true. You should have filed a complaint for unfair dismissal. Was it unfair dismissal, or were you trying to push your weight around telling people what to do when there was no legal right for you to say that? So what is it, unfair dismissal, or you were at the job kicking up a fuss? Okay, so maybe that's what they were trying to do. They knew that they could not file a claim under unfair dismissal, so they went another route, and that other route was not a viable route. Okay, so you lost. So what are you going to do now, Alexa? What are you going to do now? So my opinion is, next time you go on a job, Alexa, when you get hired for another job, okay, and you are referred to as he or his, or, you know, Mr. or whatever, you have to understand that there's no law against a Bajan saying that to you. Your preference, it has nothing to do with Bajans. What you prefer has nothing to do with Bajans, because they already know your original gender. They already know how you came about, how you came into the world, and the fact that you put on a wig on your head and put on a dress, you know, put, you know, earrings in your ear, and, you know, sashaying around the place. It doesn't mean anything to Bajans. It's just a spectacle for them. You're just a spectacle for them. So next time you get a job, just go and do your job. If they call you sir, go ahead with it. If they call you Mr., give it to him. You gotta roll with the punches until you maybe can spearhead. Maybe you could be the catalyst for this to change in Barbados, for them to have laws that address transgender identity. Maybe you can start that. But as it is now, there are no laws to support you demanding people to call you sister, her, she. No, there are no laws that would dictate that. So as it is now, Alexa, just stay in your lane. Be happy that in many, many ways you are accepted in the Barbadian society. You are accepted there. In many ways, you could not go to certain places in the Middle East or whatever and pull that shit. You can't pull it in certain countries. So you're pretty safe in Barbados. And don't run to Canada talking about, oh, I need asylum because I'm being tormented. Don't do that. Don't do that. Well, you can do whatever you like, but there's no reason to do it, because except for a pronoun, get your money, or do your job, keep your head down, and get your money. Okay, it's just a pronoun. It's only a pronoun. Okay, stop pushing people around. I think you had a lot of nerve taking this thing before a tribunal when you know that there were no laws to support your claim. There are no laws to back you up. None. Zero. You had a lot of nerve. And because you did that, because you took it before a tribunal, one can always understand how you were moving on the job. It just comes along with the thought process, how you were behaving when you were on the job, and you thought that you could dress like that and get people to bow down to you in certain ways, or take your orders, or take directions from you and call you what they didn't want to call you. You could only imagine how you were behaving on the job and why you got kicked out, why you got fired, why you have to look for a job now. But next job you have, hold your lane. Hold your lane. And in the meanwhile, maybe you can talk to the people in the Senate or whoever else there in Barbados and see if they can work on this identity thing, that you want to file lawsuits, on. Work on that. But before that can happen, you have to stay in your lane, okay? You have to stay in your lane. In Barbados, you are accepted. In Barbados, it's smooth sailing. Okay, it's smooth sailing. Stop rocking the boat, Alexa. Stop rocking the boat. This is Sherry Veronica.